commence radio transmission.
It's Geeks and Brews. This is the show where we geek out with a brew. It is Chris here. It is Eli.
Hi, everybody.
It is Guillermo.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Guillermo.
And it is Edgar.
What's up, guys?
What's up, gents? It's been a fantastic week. I might add. How have you guys been?
Surviving the times, Chris. Surviving
Yes.
the times.
It's
Surviving
interesting,
times.
interesting days.
Well, why don't we get cracking with the brew of the day? The brew of the day. What are we drinking today, Guillermo?
We are drinking Weihenstephaner.
Weihenstephaner
Yeah, Festbier.
Festbier.
Here, I'm trying to show in the lighting. It is not making it easy.
It's blurry. There we go. There
Yes.
we go.
There we
Hey,
go.
How about that?
I know. And it is one of those common wheat beers. I've not tried this particular one. I had to go to a couple places to find it. Went to our local Bevmo and found it.
Bevno, right?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Bev, no.
How could I make such an embarrassing mistake?
I know. Rookie mistakes right there.
Guillermo, you neglected to mention there's something unique about this particular beer.
Tell me.
If you read the label, they boast as being the world's oldest brewery.
It didn't. Wait, let me see. Brewed
On
in
the-
Bavaria,
right on the label?
Germany.
Right
I
on the
don't
very
s-
top there.
Right above
On that
their,
guy.
their little
It
coat
doesn't.
of arms.
Not of mine. It doesn't
The-
say.
Not
Yes,
above the coat
They
of
say
arms.
government warmings.
It does.
Store dark and cool.
You're looking at the
Put it
wrong
on the-
side.
I'm looking at every side. I don't see anything saying that.
Very front, dude.
Not above the coat of arms. Really small letters.
World's oldest brewery.
Yes.
There we go. There we go.
Ta-da!
And tonight,
You know, this
we
was like
are
a Where's
drinking-
Waldo, to be fair.
It was not, bro.
You put on your
Tonight
glasses,
we are
bro.
drinking this, gents, because as this episode drops, it is Tuesday, December 5th. And what special day is that? Repeal Day.
Repeal day, that's right.
This is the day where we said, fuck that amendment, the Prohibition Amendment, and we took back our drinks. And we said, we will not go quietly into that night without our drinks.
And then that repealing of amendment makes this show possible, right, Chris?
Yeah.
It does. It does. Without it,
Exactly.
we'd be doing this illegally. So how about that? Virtual cheers, gents, and virtual
Virtual
cheers to all our Geek Crew out
Virtual
there.
cheers.
Here. I'm going to taste the sweet taste of victory right here.
Nice. You know, and
Fantastic.
I've talked to Chris in previous years, and every time we're gonna do or even mention Repeal Day, and for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to happen. And you know, I don't know why in this country we celebrate Cinco de Mayo or even St. Patty's Day more than we celebrate Repeal Day, which should be a
Makes
thing. Man, I don't
No
get it.
damn sense.
Yeah.
No damn
Somebody
sense.
I
has
mean,
to
you know
start
what's
the
even funny
ballroom
about
now.
it is that, you know what's funny about that, Edgar, is that, you know, like if you go to Ireland, although I hear it's changing now, St. Patty's Day is a day of solemnity because they don't
Yeah.
associate that with a crap ton of drinking.
Yeah.
We kind of made into that. Even Cinco de
Oh,
Mayo
yeah.
isn't
Absolutely.
really something that was celebrated in Mexico, or it was like very small, but
I mean, they
made
do have
big deal
something.
here. And
They do have
and the
something.
point
but
is-
it's- yeah.
but the point is, America made those into big drinking holidays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This should be the most natural thing. Like you're going out of the way to make these solemn things like drinking days, and yet the
You
end
have
of
your
prohibition.
yeah. You have
Well, you
your
know what?
drinking
It is
day.
our duty as the Geek Crew and all of our Geek Crew out there listening
Yes.
is to
Start the ball rolling on this
start
thing.
the ball rolling. We start now. We
Yes.
start now,
I hope it
December 5th,
snowballs, man.
2023. That is our proclamation.
Remember.
Yeah. This will be the movie trailer thing.
Remember the 5th of December.
The 5th of December.
5th of December for the greater good.
It is for the greater good of mankind.
And you know what, Chris? I think this is probably why we chose the movie we chose to review this week, right? Because it
Oh yeah.
deals with
And-
it, I guess.
And
we're
you know,
untouchable?
in all honesty, I
Yeah.
think this is the movie that we should review every December 5th. None other than the De Palma classic, The Untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
Going after Mr. Al Capone. And the only way that we can to stop his well, actually we kind of salute him, but you know, I get it, it was illegal, but the only way to go after him,
You're trying to celebrate the
evasion.
life of a gangster who killed a lot of people.
tax evasion. That's how we
No.
go after him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
go after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tax evasion.
Tax evasion criminal.
Yeah. But before we get to that, gents, how was your week? What's up, Eli?
What's up? Well, this week I celebrated our SpaceX company Christmas party yesterday, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
It was at the stadium where the LA Galaxy play. So they decked it out pretty nice. It was they called it Rocket Fest. It was like carnival themed mixed with like a
Wait,
a
is that where
rave. It was
where
like
they play now, or where they used to play?
I think that's where they play now.
Or because I think they used to play it in I think the field for one of the universities around there.
I thought
But
it
I
was
think-
Home Depot, or what is it now? It's not Home Depot Center.
No,
is it?
it's something else, but it's that same place.
Yeah, they
was
just
it the
changed the names.
Was it the Dominguez Hills field?
No, it's called like health, like something
Dignity Health.
Dignity Health.
Dignity
yes.
Health.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. They changed names recently. So did the LAFC. It was
I can't keep
Bank
track,
of
man.
California, and then now it's Bank of Montreal.
Yeah, I can't keep track. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Too
Anyway,
many
it
goddamn
was a good
names.
time. Free drinks, little snacks here. Got some merch. And you know, had fun. Invited a good friend of mine, Omar. He ended up going with me. And you know, it was fun. Next time I'll see you guys, I'll show you the videos. But it was a really good
Nice.
time. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was there from like 8 to midnight or something like that.
Company Christmas parties. That's something that I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah, it was awesome. There was a Ferris wheel, bumper cart, a bunch of games, carnival games, a bunch
Guys.
of free booze.
We are a company. Why don't we have our own Christmas party later this year? I
Ah.
think we shall. I think we shall.
Okay,
We'll plan that offline.
sure. I have just the place too, but we'll talk about it after the show.
There we go.
Oh, wait. And I also, before I forget, I also finished watching a show called All the Light We Cannot See on Netflix.
Oh, that's good.
It's
What's it about?
it's about World War II.
Oh, yes.
It's
Is that
it's
Mark
about
Ruffalo?
this.
Mark
Yeah, it's
Ruffalo
with
and the
Mark
blind girl?
Ruffalo and
And
the
the
guy
blind
who
girl, right?
plays House, the main actor in House. I forgot his name. But basically,
Hugh Laurie.
Yeah,
Hugh
Hugh
Laurie.
Laurie. Hugh Laurie.
basically it's like a family who they all like. Obviously, they all care about each other, but one of the main characters is blind, and they do just about everything to help her, you know, have a normal life. And inadvertently, she goes into like helping the French resistance fight against the Nazis, and she does like some of the most important work, and no one thinks anything of it because she's blind. And you know, feeds a lot of intel to the Allies for them to win the war. It's actually really good show. It's only 4 episodes, but really well
It
done.
was on Hulu. Yeah, Hulu.
On Netflix.
No, I'm sorry, Netflix. You're right. I'm thinking of
It's on Netflix.
too many damn streaming services out there.
Yeah, and then I've been continuing to watch Two Broke Girls, and that show's really funny, but goddamn, like some of the stuff they say, I'm like, wow, this was on regular TV.
You'd be surprised. I mean, stuff from like 5-6 years ago. When you watch it now, it's like now some of that stuff's kind of censored.
I know, it's kind of sad. Like
In
I
a
think
way,
about
yeah.
the shows that were on when we were kids, and I was like, Married with Children would not last at all.
It would not be. How about All in the Family? Would not.
Yeah, that too. But
would not even be greenlit.
that was a great show, Al Bundy and his family. But yeah, it would not last at all these days.
No, not at all.
Great show though.
Guillermo, what's up?
A lot of things. I feel like I just came from a few Christmas that that I went to earlier.
You
As far as shows, what?
you kind of glitched there for a second.
Yeah,
You sounded like
glitching.
very robotic.
I'm very much part of the Matrix.
Oh, okay, that's what
He's
it was.
plugged in.
I-
He's plugged in.
I hoped you didn't figure that out. I mean, I was hoping to keep it a secret longer, but all right. I am an AI. No. So yeah, no, I've been. I mean, I just finished a 6-week fitness challenge. I'm probably one of those weird cases because what normally people would think is amazing, I felt very meh about, and actually a little disappointed because I lost 13 pounds.
That's great.
But 2 of those pounds were of muscle, and so part of me is really frustrated at that. I didn't want to lose muscle because it's so much harder to gain
Gain
pounds of
muscle mass.
muscles than it is to gain pounds of fat. I mean, I look better, but it just is one of the annoying things. But yeah, that was a big thing. I remember on Friday, I was like, okay, finally. But I didn't go wild because I also know that if you try to eat a lot afterwards, it's a shock to your body. Let's see. As far as shows, or movies, I just finally saw the Hunger Game movie.
Yes.
I don't want to talk too much about it. I enjoyed it a lot, but in case we may be doing this another week, as a movie week, I don't want to really delve
no
deeply.
spoilers.
Yeah, but I really loved it.
It was good. It
and
was
then
well done.
Yeah, and although it did feel like 3 movies, because it literally was one movie where they had a part 1, 2, and 3. It's like the exact opposite of what they have been doing with movies, where they take a movie take a book and split it into 2 separate movies. It's kind of like they did the opposite. But outside of that, I discovered a cool show that actually you could find for free on YouTube. It's this. There's a bunch of series, but I've just saw a couple of. It's like Clunk Does Britain or Clunk in Britain, and it's this basic girl who or kind of like a mockumentary type of thing where this woman plays like this historian who interviews a lot of stories, but she's an idiot, like purposely an idiot. Like one of my favorite lines that I saw was, "This is a school that Shakespeare went on. We don't know as much, but we do know that those schools at that time were considerably easier, mainly because they didn't need to study Shakespeare."
Okay.
Because that was Shakespeare's school, and so when he studied, there was no Shakespeare to look up. But she'll just be like this purposely dumb person, but like I love British sarcasm, and she's going around like the way like she's going talking to actual experts on topics, but in a way that is like that, like the experts don't really realize that she's kind of purposely being dumb.
Mm.
So they answer her like she's being for real. But she has a bunch of different series. So it like basically sounds in the exact same tone as a lot of those like historical documentaries on stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
I've
the British humor, it can be really great. You know, as long as you're in the mood for it and aware of the way they are.
Hey, Guillermo.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Hamlet 2?
Yes, I saw that a month and a half ago, actually.
With Steve Coogan?
Oh, nice.
You did see it?
Yes, I loved it.
How can you make Hamlet 2 when everybody dies in the first one?
I never saw it. Damn.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
basically the premise of that is this guy who's like kind of a failed kind of playwright who's basically teaching at a school to make ends meet, and he hates his life at the time. And he's like, okay, his drama department is 3 people, and one day he discovers that there's like a ton of minorities like end up studying his theater or his class because something else got cut, and he's trying to like keep his and get something working. So he does something dramatic, and he just writes Hamlet 2, even though in Hamlet like everyone dies. And it is a going just over the top thing where they have like Jesus come back and bring you back, and then like time travels.
Oh my
people going
gosh.
back and fix, like it is over the top, and then it causes, because of those religious aspect, it causes a lot of protests, which ends up helping it, and it becomes this huge. It gets banned from school, becomes a huge project, like all this kind of crap. But like I don't know how to really explain it, but it's just chaotically fascinating. Edgar, how would you describe this?
Idiotically funny. Yeah, just like you said it. It's exactly like you said. It's hilarious, but it's so dumb.
It's funny how you saw Hamlet, because this is a tie into something similar to what I did. But go on, Guillermo.
No, I saw Hamlet 2.
Hamlet 2. Sorry.
Although the funny thing is, I've never actually seen a version of Hamlet that involved breakdancing, a robot.
That's true.
And, like in New York, and like I remember there was like waltzing, like this ghost that like kind of did this robot, like all this thing. It was something it couldn't be more New York than anything else. Just like super
like off Broadway stuff,
yeah, exactly. And it was entertaining, but I had never seen the original Hamlet, so I didn't quite follow. I just know that the only thing I got was that everyone seems to die in this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that there's like some, like I said, like some breakdancing here, music here, all sorts of different techno styles. Like that was my only exposure to an actually seeing Hamlet. So when I picture Hamlet, I have a very different reference point.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what? I'm going to go next. Speaking of Hamlet, you know that the Lion King was kind of based off of Hamlet. So I saw the debut of my son's. I don't know if he's going to act. Other than school musicals, but he was in his school musical. They did the Lion King Jr., which was fantastic.
How does that work? Because I know they have like school version of things. Like they have a school version of Avenue Q, for example, which is like
that is high school or elementary school. Because Avenue Q is like Sesame Street, but for adults.
So, like and they have R-rated subjects, like you could be as loud as as the hell you want when you're making love, or the internet is for porn. But they make changes, like they turn that song into like social media is my life or something like that. So they make switches. But like I know it's something that happens in the place. But how do they do it with Lion King exactly? Do they take away all the killing, or do they?
There's no killing. Like
No
the
main
most
duck?
famous. Oh, except for Mufasa, that's part of the story. So
How does
he
he
falls to the
die?
floor. He just the way it is, like Scar's, holding him by his paw, and long live the king, and lets him go. But it's a
Oh.
kid, so he's standing there and he just falls down. But
I mean, how
that's
do
a
they
death
play-
you need. It's part of
Chris.
the story. It's integral.
But what do they cut? What do they take away? Or did they add stuff?
Everything was just kind of sped up. It was basically the same. It was like the Disney version. I mean, Lion King is, for all intents and purposes,
Chris,
Disney. It's not
Is it
anything
because
else.
is it because it's for kids are playing in it and
Yeah, I mean,
the attention span's not quite there?
No, the kids were fantastic, and this is kindergarten through fifth graders. So obviously, a lot more second, third, fourth, and fifth graders. But I think there was a kindergartner there, probably just black background, I believe. Actually, I don't know the grade of. He had to have been first. I don't think he was in kindergarten, but young Simba was fantastic. But there was two different casts, so they had just such a huge interest in the doing a musical, and this is the school's first ever musical. Those teachers, I give them props. They tag team it, co-directed it, and it was just an amazing thing to watch. And we saw in late October, we saw the school district's version of the Lion King Junior, which is K through middle school through 8th grade. So it's a district, much bigger budget and stuff like that. This was just his particular school. It's a different district than the big production we saw. So it was just fantastic. Guillermo, you had a...
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you with that. One cast does one day and another does another.
So they've been performing since Wednesday the 29th. So the Pumbaa cast went on the 29th. The Timon cast was the night of the 30th. And then I think the 30th and the 1st, there were school performances. Like I think Pumbaa did one day during the school. Timon did the other cast or the other school performance during the day on that Friday. And then Friday night was the closing. So they each had 2 night shows. So Pumbaa went Friday, and then my son was in the Timon cast. He went Saturday night. So I was able to see both casts because I helped out. I volunteered to help out during the Friday night. So this weekend was all Lion King for me.
Who did Preston play?
He was one of the background part of the ensemble. He was the monkey dancer, the grassland monkey dancer. He was also a hyena.
Nice.
And I don't know, they had some kind of like a festive outfit, like a celebratory outfit that wasn't an animal. Oh, and he was also one of the wildebeests too.
Nice.
But
Nice.
It was fantastic. I know all those songs, and
So he was busy.
yeah, and the kids sang. I mean, there were solos. Rafiki and Preston's and his cast was amazing. She was amazing. Both Scars were great. The Mufasas were. I mean, and these people. In Preston's cast, Nala had her solo. I mean, there was accompaniment by the other lionesses, but her solo, like she rocked it. And again, probably 4th or 5th grader. It was fantastic. Just the exposure to the arts, and he's excited. He's like, I'm ready to go next year. So maybe even a lead. So that's amazing.
Nice.
So I couldn't be more proud. And then we celebrated yesterday. Went to East Sushi over in Whittier. So if you guys are familiar,
does
East
Preston
Sushi.
like sushi?
Oh, he loves sushi. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
this guy got his own roll. He actually tried a virgin oyster shooter. We had oyster shooters, and his is a virgin because there's a little bit of
Nice.
alcohol in there. But he liked that.
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. We're ready. We're ready to go to Japan in 2025. We've decided that's one of our vacation destinations for 2025.
Where did we have oyster shooters at, Edgar? Remember that one time we had?
That was
oyster
Steve's barbecue.
Yeah, no, we had Chris, we had them at the Crooked Gaffer at what it was before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
that was the good ones. But I think we had oyster shooters at
No,
Steve's
it was just
also.
oysters. There was just
No, it's
Was it
oysters.
just
just
oysters? I
oysters.
thought it was
Yeah.
oyster shooters.
No, we had
Crooked Gaff
oyster
had
shooters
great
somewhere.
oyster shooters over there.
Yeah, no, it was before the Crooked Gaff. It was that restaurant before.
Yes.
Before Tony owned it, remember?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They
I
used to
remember.
have the oysters right on the ice, right on the counter.
Yep.
Remember?
That was
Yeah.
the place that Eli and I were there at during an earthquake. We're having a beer, we're at the bar, and then all of a sudden, like, the place starts shaking. So, and collectively, everyone grabs their beer like this and puts their hand over it. And then everyone's like, "We're good, yeah."
And we
They
started
had their
drinking again.
priorities.
Yeah.
They knew their priorities. You know, by the way, Chris, I was gonna say with the Lion King, I just wanted to tell you one of my funny memories when I finally saw the play.
Oh, the actual musical, yeah, the Broadway, right?
Yeah, so yeah, when it was like a touring cast, and there was this one thing because for the kids, you kind of have to have like a rotation of small kids because there's going to be stricter rules about like union rules when it comes to the kids. And so on the night that I was there, what was kind of funny is there's this part where I think it was like I just can't wait to be speaking or something like that. He swings out, or I think it must have been another. No, it was a later song. Anyways, he swings out on a vine, and then the adult version swings in on a vine.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the little kid was a white kid, and the adult was a black guy. And
it happens.
it was just kind of a funny thing. I'm like,
sometimes when you
wow, I didn't
age,
know
man.
that. I'm like, I didn't
sometimes
know
when you
that
age.
changed with age.
Well, it happened to Michael Jackson, but in reverse. He went in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
came
You know,
out
it
white.
was funny. It was funny. There's obviously there was distinguishing voices, different characters,
Yeah.
but they had young Simba, old Simba, and you can tell like the older Simbas were like 4th, 5th graders.
Yeah.
And the young Simbas, they looked like they were 2nd grade, maybe 3rd grade. Maybe even 1st at the youngest, but they were smaller kids. But the young Simbas were fantastic. But then when you're expecting a deeper voice and you hear like a voice that's not really much different from the young Simba, it's just coming from a taller person. You're like, it catches you for a second because you're expecting that because the character's older, but it was cute. Regardless, it was cute. Amazing.
Simba.
Edgar, what's up, Edgar?
All right, guys. So I finished watching the show. I mentioned, I believe last week, called The Offer. Did I?
Offer?
I think
Yeah,
you
The
mentioned that.
Yeah,
Remind
okay.
us what it's about, though.
Yeah, it was about the making of The Godfather.
Oh yes, you did
Yeah,
mention.
Yeah, I finished it. It was man, it was fantastic. I highly recommend it. It was a great show.
It's over on Paramount Plus.
Yes, Paramount.
Or I forget, I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, definitely check it out. To be honest with you, that's kind of oh no, you know what? Aside from that, I did actually get to go out to a barbecue / craft beer place.
Nice. Where
It's
at?
in Lincoln Heights, and it's called Moo's Craft Barbecue. It's right after the San Antonio Winery. You take the 5, you get off on Broadway, then you make a right. It was pretty fantastic. You gotta try a little bit of pulled pork. We did some brisket.
Is it like Missouri style or
No,
what
it's
is
Texas
the
style.
Texas style? Okay.
Yeah, we did brisket, pulled pork. We did like a Korean style pork belly, and then we did a what was it? It was a sausage, but it was a Oaxacan / poblano pepper sausage, which was really good actually. And then we had a couple sides, some mac and cheese. We had this great slaw. It was a winter slaw. It had like cranberries and walnuts. That
Oh,
was very, very
sounds
good.
delicious.
Yeah, and
I
then
have to make a trek down there.
yeah, it was. I had a couple beers, great beers, man. Really good beers. And then what else? They did a good job. We had for dessert we had a banana, like a banana pudding that was. I'm not a banana fan, but wow,
Wow.
it was
Now
fantastic.
he's a banana fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did a good job. It wasn't overly sweet. It was just right, very creamy, and it was great, very fresh. Good spot. I definitely recommend it.
Awesome.
Moose Craft Barbecue. Yeah.
Speaking of
Definitely.
barbecue, I did make some barbecue chicken. I mean, just oven basic dinner chicken thighs, but I use this barbecue sauce. You know, the quick and easy way when you're doing it during the week. You ever had Stubbs or Strubs?
No.
Strubs barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I've had it before.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It's not bad. It's
Yeah,
good.
got the spicy
Okay.
sauce, and then
Oh, I like that spicy barbecue.
yeah,
You know
then
the one that
pour it
if you like spicy, Chris, you should try the Dave's. That one's really good.
Yeah, Dave's is good. I was just looking for something a little different.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I like that one's a little bit above spicy from all the because usually when you hear spicy, it's kind of tamed for the most part.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but Dave's is actually goes a little beyond.
Yeah,
It's
I
actually
mean, I'm cooking it. My son loves spicy food, but you don't want to overdo it where he's not going to eat anything.
of course. Yeah.
But what I do is I pour the whole bottle over because I have big pieces of chicken thighs, so I put that in the glass, the oven safe glass bowl. Put the sauce in there, but you have to put some water in there too, not just the barbecue sauce, because then it hardens all over the glass, and it makes it's too
Makes a
much.
mess.
So yeah, with a little bit of water, it keeps everything moist, the chicken and everything. So it's
Nice.
it's great. It's something a little quick and easy. I do recommend you guys try it.
Have you tried doing it on a grill, Chris?
Not on a grill, not that on a grill.
You should try it. It's not that difficult. You just you put
Just
the
want to see something underneath to catch all the juices come down.
yeah no. But see, this is the thing, Chris. If what you do is, so you put all the coals on one end,
Mhm.
and then right under where you put the chicken is on the opposite end. You put a little tray, a little pan, and then what you do is so it's indirect heat. You don't put it right above the coals. You put it to the side, and you just cover it. And it'll take a little longer. It takes a few hours, but it comes out outrageously good.
And then the smokiness too.
Exactly.
Smoky.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat reference there.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Finish him.
You're just waiting for
Awesome.
internal temp. Like in that way you can, like, say you're gonna cook something, like you either cook all breast or thighs, because a breast will cook at all the way up to 160, 155, 160, but thighs go all the way up to 180. So that's why breast ends up drying out on you, because you got to wait for the thighs to be done cooking.
That's everyone's problem with Thanksgiving, cooking those birds.
That's why it's technically kind of better to cook it individually and then just put it together.
I had a neighbor do that for Thanksgiving. They
comes out
chopped
better.
all the pieces
Yeah.
and then did it that way.
And then just kind of puts it back together at the table or whatever. So it looks like
It's just everything was already cut and it was a lot faster. And
I
everything
bet it
cooked
tastes
evenly.
better.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you guys said anything, but this beer was fantastic, actually.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, very easy to drink. No, not hard and tasty.
All right, guys. Well, we got a little bit of geek news. I'm gonna have to put my I didn't want the glare, but I'm gonna put my reading glasses on. Right there we go.
Oh
They're
gosh.
not really reading glasses, but just the glare when we're recording this. So as you know, this is a little bit of older news, but not too much older. Dave Filoni is officially the chief creative officer at Lucasfilm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this will help? Because let's be honest, I feel that you know, Star Wars is not on the greatest of terms right now, especially with fans.
Well, I will say one thing from what I hear with that. Even though we've often been thinking about him as if he had more power, he actually was more like a consultant, or he was treated as like a fixer, as opposed to the one who actually had the final say or creative control. So I do think that this could be a good thing, because even though I think a lot of like I didn't think
Yes.
Filoni, it really worked. So we were seeing Filoni noted stuff, but not Filoni kind of created and guided stuff.
Yeah, with the exception of the Mandalorian
Yeah.
and Ahsoka.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I say it's a step in the right direction. I mean, but I don't know exactly what his plans are or what they're trying to do from here on forward. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, like everything else. Same thing goes with MCU. You know, it's kind of like,
Well, I think
like,
it's
like
because
this.
it's
It's all Disney
oversaturated.
though. That's the common denominator.
It's
Yeah,
oversaturated.
Disney is the
Man.
common
You got way too much
denominator.
shit.
You're right.
Way too much stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
you
mean,
dial it back, and then instead of 3-4 things, make one really good thing.
that's true. They try to
Well, I mean, you gotta
milk it too
capitalize.
much,
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
it's diluted.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of milk, you're getting milk.
They ended up ruining the lightning in the bottle.
We talked about this ourselves, but the Karate Kid is getting not a reboot, but it's getting a new film, and it's merging the two universes.
That's
It's
pretty
merging
cool.
the Ralph Macchio's universe with the Jackie Chan. Like it's all
Why?
the same. Your thoughts?
That is
Jets?
the oddest combination.
Yes.
And
I don't
also,
mind it. I don't mind
But-
it.
Also, I feel like it was weird in the first place. I didn't see that Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie.
I saw it.
I just always find the title ironic, given that it wasn't even karate.
Yeah, it was kung fu, but
Yeah.
I seen all of the Karate Kid movies from what I remember. I saw the one with the female Karate Kid, and I saw Karate Kid
Wait,
1 and
that's
2.
that's 4, right? Karate Kid, or is it 3?
I don't remember if it was 4 or 3, but I saw the Jackie Chan one also. But I couldn't get into the show. And I still can't. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of the Netflix
It's an awesome show.
You
and I
cannot
couldn't
get
get into
into
it.
Cobra Kai.
That's
I
an
couldn't get
awesome
into
show.
it. I stopped watching it. Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Cobra Kai is.
I'm like
that's
I'm a
fantastic.
really
so
shitty
good.
Karate Kid fan. I'm a really shitty Karate Kid fan. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
I think Eli was born without something. I don't know what it is. I just have to figure it out.
Yeah,
Something's missing.
there is. Yeah, I was missing.
Chris,
It's probably my heart.
Are you gonna mention one of the greatest trailers to come out this year? The Furiosa trailer. Come on, Chris.
Yeah,
gotta
for
mention-
Furiosa.
yes,
This
the
is the
Furiosa
prequel to
trailer.
Mad Max, and
Oh.
that just dropped this week. And,
A lot of trailers came
or I
out
should
this
say
week,
last
guys.
week, as this is Tuesday the 5th. But
The Boys trailer, the episode for the new season of The
Oh, yeah.
Boys came out.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. The new Godzilla versus Kong trailer came out. What else came out?
I don't know if they. I don't think a trailer came out, but they announced that, or they acknowledge Will Smith and who else is gonna return in I Am Legend, the sequel.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
That
How
was
is
a
it gonna
movie
come
that was
back? Didn't he
ruined.
die?
Yeah, well, I think no,
well,
I don't think.
No, he
Go
does die. Well, okay. So what they're doing is they're following. So when the movie was theatrically released, he dies. But when the DVD came out, there was an alternate ending that they thought about using, and in an alternate ending, he lives. So apparently they're following the alternate ending.
That's stupid.
I mean, that's what they're doing. I don't know. So if you go on YouTube, if you don't have the movie and check the alternate ending, go on YouTube and check alternate ending for I Am Legend, and you'll see how it ends. And then you can just focus on that version.
Yeah, I know that with that that movie, like there was originally supposed to be this revelation that he was the monster, not those people we saw as enemies, and then they kind of like screwed that over.
Huh?
I don't know. I mean, I saw the original one.
When they made the movie, they screwed that over. Like that was originally supposed to be, and then they switched up like that ending to like take it away. It was one where we had a good ending and that happened. I'm looking right now trying to see what we have here. In the novel, vampires talked to Neville and he killed them knowing that he was murdering sapient creatures. Neville was the human Dracula.
Neville?
No, yeah, that's his last name, the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I saw the movie.
Yeah,
so-
but what's his
Anyway,
name?
let's move.
The guy that
let's
plays
move
Creed,
forward,
he's gonna
guys.
be in it as well.
Mm.
What's his name?
Well, last bit of news: Cape Fear. Spielberg and Scorsese are, for the first time, are going to executive produce something together.
Wow.
It's going to be a Cape Fear. We're getting a new take on Cape Fear. That's coming out at some point. I would imagine 2020, late 2024, maybe 2025. But just a little bit of news right there. I think this is also going to be a TV show. By the way, it's not a movie. It's the showrunner is Nick Antosca is the showrunner for that this new version of Cape Fear. But interesting times. I know we're not going to be able to get I'm trying to blank on the actor. Oh my god. He retired, I believe, right? From the original Cape Fear. I can't think of his name right now.
Cape Fear. Let me. No.
Oh no! Oh no!
Diego,
Guillermo.
party foul.
He can't drink anymore. He's banned.
Cut him off. Cut him off.
Chris, the only person I can think of is what's her name? Sigourney Weaver was in there, right?
Yes. You know what?
Right?
Give me. I'm gonna look this. It's been forever since I've seen that movie.
I don't even remember if I actually saw it. I remember
because I remember she was all like distraught in the movie, right? Like she's like always like.
Might have to revisit
we have
that
Cape
movie,
Fear
guys.
cast is Juliette Lewis, Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, Robert. Chris, were you talking about Nick Nolte?
No, none of them have retired.
No. I was thinking of something else.
Robert Mitchum.
So
it was
not
retired, or maybe passed or something.
Not Julianne Moore. Who was it? Who was the female actress?
Yeah,
it was a Sigourney Weaver.
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, and Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Of.
Yeah. No, not retired. I'm sorry. No, he passed though. But Gregory Peck, who was in the film. As well.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That guy is legend, man.
Long gone though. Long gone. Yeah. So
big country. I didn't do big country.
Yeah. I mean, they could bring De Niro back. That would be interesting. But I think they're going to go with their own take. So. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we saw a film. You're watching Geeks and Brews.
For sure.
Wake up with us every Saturday morning as we play the latest tracks, some old favorites, the listener requests, and of course, our beat of the week.
Geeks and Beats. Saturday mornings, 7 a.m. Pacific. Exclusively at kwtr.mixler.com.
And we're back. Geeks and Brews, the show where we geek out with a brew. It is Chris, Eli, Guillermo, and Edgar. And we are drinking one of the oldest, not the oldest beer, but from one of the oldest breweries.
Oldest beer in the world.
The oldest beer
Chris,
in the world.
I do want to point out some irony, though. Do you want to know a piece of irony in our choice of beer?
Yeah.
One of the things that was used like to encourage prohibition was the fear of the Germans. They're like, oh, like so they use like that because think about like World War One time, and like you're getting into those like, these world wars, and they're basically treating that as some sort of foreign influence. These people are getting too powerful. We cannot support these like enemies, and that was kind of used as one of those like things that pushed forward the prohibition in the first place.
Adding to this, I'm gonna double up on your little fact right
double
there.
up.
Fun fact. Double up. Edgar mentioned that he was over by the San Antonio winery.
Yes,
We
sir.
went to that. San Antonio winery is the only place where, even though prohibition was in effect, wine could still be produced because they were making wines like Cardinal. And Cardinal is a wine that is used in the Catholic Church. So it is one of the oldest wineries here. They were allowed to continue brew prohibition.
I wanted to originally choose a different beer from. It used to be called Anchor Steam, but I think they're going through some issues. If not been sold, I think it goes by Steam now. But anyways,
They sold the Anchor.
Yeah, that was a good brewery, and I mean I've always liked their beer, but I wanted to get that beer, but it's kind of hard to find now. I don't know if they still make it.
Anchor Steam is an excellent beer. They
but it's not sold anymore. It's sold as Steam, Chris. It's not Anchor anymore. And I think they're having some trouble.
Dropped the Steam. They dropped the Anchor. They dropped the Anchor.
They're having some trouble.
They hold themselves in low esteem.
Yeah. They're having some troubles financially, and but they were one of the breweries that brew beer before the prohibition, and then they moved over to like some kind of alcohol. I don't know what exactly, some kind of cleaning products. I don't know what they did to and then waited out the prohibition and then went back to making beer. And it's a California beer, so that I was kind of hoping to get that, but I think right after the pandemic, everything went under for them. I don't know how.
How about this look?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, the film we saw, we went Edgar. We went back to 1987. What did we watch today?
We watched a movie called The Untouchables.
Untouchables.
Yeah, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was directed by Brian De Palma, which is an awesome director. And then David Mamet was the one that wrote the script.
Yeah,
who's another famous writer.
I just saw something. I saw an interview with Mamet recently too, like a week or two ago.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. But yeah, those two, and excellent cast. Robert De Niro plays the gangster Al Capone. You have Kevin Costner plays the lead Elliot Ness. And of course the wise old man, your Obi-Wan Kenobi-esque character, Sean Connery, and a very young Andy Garcia.
Yeah, very young.
De Palma, Scorsese, all those guys. They're all friends. Lucas,
Milius.
Yeah. They're all friends. So it's funny. Andy Garcia. This predates the third Godfather film. So I'm wondering. You see this? Like, I could see Andy Garcia going into Godfather Part 3 because of his role in this picture.
Also, in that picture, like in the Godfather, he was playing someone who was more clean cut, and I guess this character wasn't clean cut, but it was like he was not the person you think of as the gangster.
No, not in the Godfather Part 3. Yeah. He becomes that afterwards. But earlier in the film, he's a little rough around the edges. Where this one, when you see how he composes himself, it's almost like how he composes himself toward the end of the picture of the Godfather Part 3. But all these directors, Coppola, all of them, they're all buddies. So, I'm sure. Hey, we saw De Palma's picture. Let's, we like this casting. Let's use it. So, could be. But this is a story of how do we nab Al Capone? He's running loose during Prohibition over in Chicago, and it's time for the feds to come in and bring him down. And I got to say that the film starts off, that is powerful. The bombing of that store, with the little girl in the briefcase.
Wow, what a way to start the movie, right?
That's a way to bring you into the film.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yeah, and then Elliot Ness reading this in the paper, and it's like, yeah, we need to bring him down. That's where it hits home. And he is a young father with two kids. Well, one at the beginning of the film, and then he misses the birth. But there's his second child is born during the movie. So he's worried about his family, especially after going after Capone. Announcing that you're going after Capone, and his family is in inherent danger because of this. You see, how Capone controlled, the police, just the city in general, where
Judges.
he has his hands in all these businesses that are legit. They're legit businesses, but yet he doesn't really own any of them by name.
He technically doesn't take any salary at all.
No. I mean, he takes, but not on the books. They're secret books. So
it's cash, I'm sure.
Yep. And Kevin Costner and team, the Untouchables, finding their way, and who better to lead them than Sean Connery? The great Sean Connery. He plays Jim Malone. Just a excellent casting choice right there. Your guys' thoughts on the film?
I enjoyed it. Kevin Costner did a good job. I mean, Sean Connery, like you said, he did a great job as the wise
the mentor,
mentor of them both. When that scene when they were in the Canadian mountains where they were trying to convince the guy to talk, and Sean Connery takes the dead body on the floor and like, all right, if you don't talk, get up. If you don't talk, I'm gonna count to 3 and blah blah blah. He blows his head off, but the dude was already dead. And then the guy inside was like, all right, I'll talk.
That was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
So, by far. And then he says, wait, you're going to tell him everything, then you'll clean yourself up.
Yeah.
Because, you see that and you're unaware of it. That's already a dead body. You're shitting yourself.
Yeah. And, it was a great film overall. I enjoyed it for sure.
Guillermo.
Yeah. When I was watching it, it was definitely an enjoyable film. You're kind of seeing one guy who is put in charge of anti-booze operations, and he goes from being a clean-cut person to, after seeing how much power Al Capone showed, and how brutal he was willing to be, he just
so he
became that drop character, which is
like you question his morality, right? Like did
he breaks all the rules that he thought he needed for that justice, and I mean that is really the actual story when you're thinking about it. It's the character story. But I think the one thing that did annoy me is how much he was ignoring that guy who mentioned tax evasion as a possibility. He was just ignoring him. I'm like, dude, you didn't even bother asking, hey, that could be an easy way to bring him in, or like how many years could that put him away? Like he wasn't even asking those basic things, and he's like, oh, what a nerd.
Yeah,
it's
the
funny,
first couple of times he was.
This is how I learned about the tax evasion, was from this movie. That's how he got that's how he was caught. Before I saw this movie the first time, maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that was the first time that you figured like a gangster like that. It's like he's arrested at the very least, if not killed. You think Bonnie and Clyde or something, but
Yeah.
no, fantastic.
Although what I
Edgar
do
would,
hate is I do hate how they did the court scene because like I remember maybe it's because I watched too many YouTube videos of like lawyers reviewing shows and movies.
Hmm.
Your lawyer cannot just declare you guilty. Like
Yeah.
that would be cause
Yeah.
for mistrial.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
all that would happen is that they would say, no, we don't declare that. And you have an entirely new trial with a different lawyer, and that lawyer is probably going to get disbarred, for like doing that, like because you're not allowed as a lawyer, you can't just say they're guilty without their permission. So like that was a little annoying, like how like they were going for dramatics. Oh, he just does that. But I mean, overall, it was still a fun movie. The playing of action.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what? I actually really enjoyed it. I had a good cast. It was it had a good flow. It didn't really stall anywhere or anything like
No.
that. It wasn't like crazy past face, but it had a good rhythm to it. Um, at times the dialogue was a little weird, but
yeah.
but
Like,
for the
what were you thinking?
I'm there's a couple of scenes that they don't come to mind now, but a couple of scenes where I'm like, that sounds a little weird. But there was also some memorable like lines and stuff, that I thought I kind of liked a little bit of the innocence that that era brought, like
Yeah.
the lovely wife who like is just like, oh man, like wow, what a awesome way to come home to a woman like that who's like, like have your food ready for you, and it's just like, you sit down and you've been so tired from working, let me take care of you, like that's like very much uh encapsulated that era, you know what I mean, the housewife,
He even
the little
says
perfect,
it's nice to be married.
yeah,
a
the
couple
perfect
times.
little child, the daughter, and
Well, not
all
just
that
that,
stuff.
like their lives are literally hanging by a thread, being put away for safekeeping, so they're
Yeah,
not killed.
for sure,
And
for sure.
which wife out there, which or husband or whomever, which spouse, when you have kids, would be that understanding, like, oh, okay, dear, you
Yeah,
do what you
that's what
just
I'm
be
saying.
safe.
That's what I'm saying.
Let
Like
me pack
that's
you
what
a
I mean.
lunch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like you take care of yourself and like write little notes. I'm sure this still happens, but you know what I mean. Like all those little things. I like that it encapsulated that era. You know what I mean. And that was pre what 50s, right? So I like that. I like that. It was really cool.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
gives you
19.
it gives you a definitely a perspective when it comes to like today's standards. And the way divorce was probably like in the 20-30%, maybe even 15-20, because back then you were shamed if you were divorced, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but I like those little things that definitely made it more like, I don't know, more believable, more 30s style or whatever. And I mean, other than that, like I said, the acting was on point. I didn't find anything wrong with any of the. Well, I mean, I'm not like a professional or anything, but like the way it was edited, the shot, and all that stuff, everything was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it for the most part, the whole thing. I thought it was well made and entertaining. So it's a solid movie.
Wrapping this up with the last lines of the film.
What do
The
you mean?
last lines of the movie. Word is they're going to repeal prohibition.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What do you do then?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that was like a great way of ending it, and then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I fought for something that's like no longer a thing, so like I guess we can stop doing
Think
that
I'll
now.
have a drink.
Yeah.
Have a drink.
There you go. What do you guys? I mean, this movie was just fucking fantastic. I love that whole when they're trying to stop the when they were up in Canada, and that whole sequence was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like that.
Also, even though it was very solemn, when they have the rat, he's going to spill the beans, and they go down the service elevator. They lose one of their partners. It brings them to the lowest point before they climb out, and things get better for our heroes. There was something like just amazing about that whole sequence as well.
Yeah.
But it also showed the corruptness of the how this guy was, able to easily this gang member or gangster was able to just, infiltrate the police and go in and do his thing.
Yeah. One thing in the thing, like there were a lot of good scenes. Every once in a while they would do something that like always brought me out a little bit. Like, the Canada scene. There's some point where like the nerdy tax guy was just like easily like one-shotting every bad guy with like almost no difficulty. I'm like, okay, he's just like became an over-the-top Western where he's suddenly a Rambo.
It got mad.
It took me a little out of reality. Or like another thing is like when Sean Connery's character was killed, like it seemed out of character for him not to just shoot that guy who was about to attack him. Like, instead of chasing him out. Yeah, the only reason he got killed was he chased them outside. I'm like, why?
He called him this racial slur, and then he walks out, and then bam, he gets hit by the Tommy gun.
Yeah, I'm like that. It doesn't seem like he should ever have been outside. He could have just like his character. The entire movie was the one who would be willing to just shoot. And kill.
But his character was the one like going in that you knew kind of would die.
You want it to be justified. You want it to be like something that was consistent character-wise.
Yes.
Well, he again is the old wise man character trope.
Yeah, like you said, like Obi-Wan, like he dies, and and
they don't make it. He's your Obi-Wan.
If that guy kind of snuck in somewhere and had the machine gun from another thing, that might make more sense. But it seems like him catching the guy who was about to and just kind of letting that guy go. And like, no, would his character really do that? Even if he didn't shoot him, he wouldn't just let him go.
I rather have him shot him, and then walked out to the door, and then him got shot.
Yeah,
that would have made more sense.
Yeah, because there's a sense of like self-sacrifice for the right reason.
Yeah,
in a way, even if it's not intentional self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
but in this case, it was just like stupidity. So that's an excellent point, Guillermo. That that maybe was a flaw in the film.
Yeah, but I
can
see what Guillermo says.
Yeah. What do you guys rate this film?
One thing I will say.
Go ahead, Guillermo.
I was gonna say one thing that I noticed is when they had that final shootout where this baby car
the
going down the stairs. I cannot think of that without thinking the parody of it in like one of the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah,
it's
in one of the.
It was so unintentionally hilarious to me, like. Just this baby carriage just rolling down a lot of stairs, and mom's like, "My son," and it sounds really cruel, but just the way that it was like the most innocent looking kid. It was like so overly dramatic that it was actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but
what do you guys rate this film, Eli?
I would say I would say 7.5.
Guillermo.
I'd say about an 8. It's a solid movie. Like I said, there were some things that occasionally would just really bring me out a bit, and it could be over the top action, not in like a modern action movie, but over the top in it just felt like you got into a Western, you got into the other thing. But it's part of it. It's overall. I mean, it's still a known movie for a reason.
Though. Yeah, it's the time period. I mean, this movie was 1987.
Yeah, but either way, it still
there was an innocence to it.
Yeah, but it still sometimes took me out of the reality. But overall, I still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7.5, 8. What about you, Edgar?
I go with an 8. Another thing we didn't talk about, and I thought was pretty cool, was the soundtrack, the score. I think that was the guy that did the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the Italian composer.
Yeah.
I think he was the one on the helm of that. So that's Ennio Morricone or something like that. I think he might have been the guy that did the soundtrack. So that was cool. I like that.
Okay. I don't remember any particular song that stood out to me. So.
Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
Was the
it was like the intro, like the like the it was cool, and it kind of played out throughout, but it played so well in the movie you probably didn't even notice it. But if you go back and listen to the soundtrack, it's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. So yeah, I think I give it a solid 8. I enjoyed it.
I agree, an 8, especially for its time. Obviously, you make this same movie today, the way they did it, it probably wouldn't have that high of a rating, except for that phenomenal cast, though. But it was very well enjoyable. The pacing was excellent.
Yeah,
where you didn't lose it. Like, okay, it's slowing down too much. It's too fast. It was just the right speed. It was right under 2 hours, as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go 8. You guys ready for the IMDb score? Let's see.
Sure.
7.8.
Oh, right in between Guillermo
pretty
and
much. Yeah.
Right on point.
Yeah, we're right there. We're right there. We should be critics, paid critics. We're right there. Check it out. It is the Untouchables. You can find it wherever movies are available. For buy or rent or whatnot. But you can watch this if you are a Prime Video subscriber or you have Amazon Prime. You can watch this on Prime Video for free. Of course, we're talking about the Untouchables. Guillermo, don't let us down with your fun fact of the day.
All right. There's like so many things I was debating about. By the way, Edgar, I want to point out, so some of the companies that, they had to find ways of surviving. And so there was like a lot of interesting things like Jungling and Anheuser-Busch actually would make ice creams to survive. They turned their brews into ice cream.
Definitely, yeah.
Some Coors became a manufacturer of pottery and ceramics, and others like did these other like malt syrup. That was just kind of really interesting.
And also post offices sold beer illegally.
I mean, there were a lot of. It's also interesting to realize a lot of loopholes. Like you could get the Volstad made it possible to have doctors prescribe medicinal whiskey, for example. But the fun fact I'm going to give is one of the loopholes, which was kind of one of the origins of dive bars, was some dive bars used to become known as blind pigs, because since selling alcohol was often was prohibited in Maine. Keep in mind, different states enforced it in different ways. Like Maryland didn't enforce it at all.
So you can drink in Maryland?
Yeah, they effectively didn't really enforce it. But in Maine, the big thing was just you can't sell alcohol. And so what establishments would do is you have a restaurant with a back room, and they kept the blind pig there, and the owner would sell tickets to see the blind pig, and with that ticket came a complimentary side of rum or some alcohol.
Oh, so you can. Oh, I get you.
You weren't paying for the alcohol; you were paying to see the blind pig.
For sure, yeah.
That's
the way they got around it.
The distribution sale of alcohol. And I never thought I would ever say this in my life, but cheers to you, Maryland. Yeah. Never.
Good job, Maryland.
Yeah. What do you gents rate the beer?
The beers are good. I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, really great. Really
wait, guys! Realize we are all agreeing.
Oh shit!
It's
Sounds
one of
good.
those
Wow.
the universes collided and
Even-
It's a Prohibition Day miracle.
I know, right?
Repeal
possible.
Day, not Prohibition Day. We don't celebrate
Sorry,
that. That's
Yeah.
that's a
Repeal
day of
miracle.
mourning.
Repeal Day, Guillermo.
Repeal Day, Guillermo. Repeal
But
Day.
you,
I know. I
Geek
feel
Crew.
like during this podcast, I must have been saying Prohibition Day. It just comes out the tongue more easily for me for some reason. but-
Yeah.
Geek Crew out there, we need to start this again. We talked about this at the opening of the show, but Repeal Day is a thing. This is where we all gather our not our coat of arms, but our mugs and glasses in celebration, our bottles and cans, and we honor a piece of America that we realize we fucked up, and let's reverse that shit and bring back our booze. So
Yep.
to America, to America.
To
We
America.
drink our German beer.
Oh, excellent German beer. Well, that does it for today's program. But before we go, be sure to stalk us. You can find us where all the social medias are available. You can find us on Facebook and X and Instagram. Actually, I don't think we're on X, but we're on Threads. So do that instead. 'Cause I don't think we have an X.
Wait, why aren't we on X?
Because that's too many social medias. You do it then. You get us on X, and then we're on X.
That's when you say fair enough and you shut up.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Man.
Of course, we're here on YouTube. I want you to smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know whenever a video is dropped. And of course, we're on podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio. For all your podcasting needs and for all your geeking out with a brew needs, there's geeksandbrews.com. Gentlemen, what did we learn today? Eli.
I learned that on this glorious day called Repeal Day that we could all agree on a beer.
Yeah. Edgar.
I learned that there's something definitely wrong with Eli. Who doesn't like the show Cobra Kai? Come on,
Sorry,
guys.
dog. I wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry.
Guillermo.
I learned to add to that not only does he not like Cobra Kai, he's the only one of us who's watched every Karate Kid movie, including the bad ones.
This is a
Yeah.
guy that's as on
If he's
pace
wa-
to watch
Yeah.
every episode of Flash, who I don't think
And Two
anybody
Broke
else has ever
Girls.
done.
But he cannot
Hey.
watch Cobra Kai.
No, I mean
I don't-
nothing wrong with those shows, but
I don't think
Two
the
Broke Girls is
I
awesome.
don't think the executive at Channel 5 has ever watched every single Flash episode.
hey, Eli
I
is the
haven't seen
ratings.
it. I haven't seen every Flash episode yet.
But
Eli
you were
is their
soon.
ratings. He is the target audience. And actually, that's what I learned, that Eli is the CW target audience.
No, no longer am I the CW target audience. I am fallen off the CW
no.
wagon.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to cancel all the shows. They were actually
They
he was the
already
one
did.
member Yeah, he was the one person keeping them all afloat.
They already did. I think
I
all
know,
the
you-
comic book
'cause you
shows are
quit.
done.
Because
Yeah.
he quit.
Every
Yeah,
every
probably.
TV in his house turns on
Not
to
a
Channel
coincidence.
5 and only Channel 5. Nobody the remote can't change it either channel other than 5.
Yeah, they were
They're
like,
all stuck on
Yeah.
Channel 5, KTLA.
And to end this, I think there's nothing fitting. I know for we'll do our normal accoutrement that we say that you'll sign us off with, Eli. But
What'd you
before we
say
do
about my
that,
mom?
accoutrement.
Uh-huh.
Before we do that,
your
again, quoting-
accoutrement.
quoting Elliot Ness, I think I'll have a drink. Eli, take us away.
All right, everybody. For Geeks and Brews, this is Chris, Edgar, Guillermo, Eli saying, leave no beer behind. Thank you very much for listening and have a great Repeal Day.